this is Gregor from BassTheWorld.com, and in this video I'm going to show you the brand new Cort GB-74 JJ. So let's check it out. The GB-74 has a swamp ash body, and the version that I got here has this high gloss amber finish and with the clear pickup that looks really cool. The neck is bolt on and made from Canadian hard rock maple, which is a very solid type of maple. The fingerboard is maple too, so the entire bass is more on the brighter sounding side of things in general, I would say. On the front we also have 21 frets and we have black dots. What I personally like very much about this neck is how it feels. So the finish, it's a satin finish, it's a very thin finish, and you don't recognize at all that you're touching any kind of lacquer finish at all, which is really cool. You think it feels like you're touching the wood itself. I like these kind of necks. You never get stuck when you're sweaty or anything. It just feels very natural. And what I also like about is that the access to the truss rod is from the side of the body, so you don't need any special tools anymore to do a neck setup. Just use a screwdriver or anything that fits in these little holes here and do the neck setup between the gigs or whenever you want to do it. And that's very practical and of course really cool. For the tuners, Cort is using, again, Hipshot ultralight tuners. I think for these kind of basses, the best tuners you can get, very lightweight, super high quality, just perfect. We have a little string retainer for the D and the G string to give them enough pressure on the nut here. Well, for a 4-string, I think that's fine enough. The B string and 5-string need a little bit more attention. For 4-string, this is absolutely okay. For the bridge, we again have this very solid looking Cort bridge Omega bass called, looks pretty much like a bassist bridge if you remember those. And it's a 2D bridge, or we could say like 2.5D, because you can adjust of course the intonation, the string height, and you have per string 3 little slots where you can put a string, so there's a little bit of, you can change the string spacing a little bit, but as always I recommend to have the strings going right or straight over the pole pieces, and in this case you have of course 19mm as a string spacing between the strings at the bridge. For the pickups, Cort is using their in-house made voiced tone single coils, and these are noiseless, which is really cool because the bass has of course an electronic. We have active basses and treble, and real single coils and electronics often don't go so well together, I think, because single coils are humming a little bit, and in combination with the electronic, this humming gets often a little bit boosted, and that's just not so nice. So using noiseless pickups makes absolute sense here. So because of this, you can use the EQ without worrying about creating too much of a humming or any other kind of noise. For the controls, we have a master volume, which is at the same time the active passive switch, so you can play this bass also in a passive mode. We have of course a balance for the pickups, and as mentioned before, active basses and treble. One thing that should be mentioned about this bass, and I think you can hear this already in the sound samples, it's very bright sounding, or relatively bright sounding. And one thing that should be mentioned at this point is that we were a little bit astonished. We are recording with line. That means we go into a preamp, mostly in this DMP here, and straight into the interface, and everything you hear on the sound samples, like rooms or cabinet stuff, these are all simulations, so it's not, we don't use any microphones here in the studio when we are recording instruments usually. And because of this, basses sound sometimes not exactly like they would sound in a room, and this is exactly what happened with this bass. We recorded it, we thought it sounds a little bit too bright and a little bit too harsh maybe, but when we plugged it in the amp on this other side of the room, we thought, hey, this bass is perfectly fine, it sounds like it's supposed to sound. So the sound samples, I think they sound good, but if you think they are too bright, too harsh, don't worry about it. Unless you're a recording musician who's in the studio all the time, this bass is cool. Just play it over an amp and then you will have more mids, more bass. It's just I don't want to use too much EQ in the sound sample, so to give you the chance of an impression what this bass actually sounds like. Of course, I can. You can give me the cheapest bass ever and it can make it sound amazing if you give me enough time to edit everything, but I'm intending not to do that here, because of course you as a viewers deserve to hear like a honest version of the instrument that we are showcasing here. So that's why I want to mention this bass is relatively bright sounding, but I think in a modern world, in a modern fashion, a lot of people really want that. So however, as always, Cort makes great quality for very affordable money, so definitely check this bass out. It's very well made, the neck feels amazing. They just know how to do it, and that's it for today, I guess. Check this bass out in the music store around. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below, or write an email to Cort or somewhere else. I don't know. I'm talking stuff. Just let's say goodbye and see you next week. Bye.